Yo, what is up, Loudmouth Sports Talk, Loudmouth Sports Group? It is the true champ of Loudmouth off the top rope, Sean, with my co-host, Loudmouth
Luge. You already know.
Man, such a good week of wrestling, man. And also, folks, it is our debate show. Two great topics we're bringing up in our debate show today. One is we are going to discuss and debate who's the best male and female wrestlers in the current product today in WWE. And then, of course, to end it all, what is a true main event?
Turn the volume down when we get there.
Turn the volume down. We're gonna be. It's gonna be intense.
I promise.
But to get right into it, man. This week of wrestling, did you see Cody Rhodes and Taz's promo? Tell me that was not golden. Tell me that wasn't golden. I think that was the best promo Taz has put together in the past 15 years he's been in wrestling.
I mean, Taz, we all know Taz is phenomenal on the mic. We all know that. But I mean, that
has to be his best promo in 15 years.
It might be, but what I'm trying to say is they hit hard both. I mean, when Cody came back and said, "Your son wrestles, doesn't he? He wants to wrestle. Who's training him? You're not." I mean, and then you have Taz's son come out and still attack Cody. It was truly actually a really good promo. And if they play this right, it could be a very good feud also between.
Listen, I'll tell you this right now. That got me with the, who's training. Your son's training to be a wrestler, and why aren't you training him? Who's training him? Me. That's a low blow. But I mean, let's keep it real. Is when he started talking about creative and how the FTW belt doesn't mean anything, and he said, "I don't need this corporate bullshit." And what am I going to be on the unemployment line? Come on. You want to talk about low blows, man. I mean, he literally called out the creative team of AEW.
Yeah. Obviously you're talking to him. He's in the ring. So he's talking shit to his face, to the owner, one of the owners. So the fact that was happening, honestly, what I wanted to see was FTW, I believe they're called FTW, the group.
FTW, the group, yeah.
So FTW come out and just wreck Cody. Honestly, they come out, they wreck Cody, they make a statement. Well, if you don't want to respect FTW, we're going to make you respect FTW.
Yeah. And which I think will happen
next week.
But they'll wreck Darby and Cody. Maybe.
But speaking of FTW, the addition to FTW.
Oh,
dude, Sean. Dude.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
He is. And the best part is you thought he was part of Cody's side, and then he turns. Oh, it was boom, it was hard. Sweet. It was sweet turn. Perfect timing on a turn too. It wasn't too soon. It wasn't too too late. So they timed that right on the turn.
Exactly. Because he really didn't show his face a lot.
No.
In it. So it was great. It was perfect. I think if FTW continues, I think Ricky Stark should actually be a singles competitor and even not in a stable. He is way too talented to be in a stable.
Yes.
Hobbs, I forget. I think his first name is Sean, right? Sean Hobbs. Will Hobbs.
Will Hobbs.
Come on. He's just a real big dude.
Brian Cage
is for I don't care.
Phenomenal. He needs a single run. He needs a single run, single title.
FTW title is not what we're talking about, people.
No, I think he should have the TNT title.
No, not yet. My man needs a solid run with that shit.
But
my man needs a solid run. You do not do Darby like that, Sean. No, it's not happening. It's not happening.
but you know that's going to happen eventually.
Eventually, I think Starks will take it off of him. If anyone.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Brian Cage go after the winner of Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley. So,
which I hear is going to be Kenny Omega because John wants a break. He said he needs some time off.
Hey, he does. I mean, his wife is pregnant. So,
speaking of that, congratulations
to Renee.
To Renee and Dean. But did you see the tweet she put out exactly after? Oh my God, I can finally start telling people how bad my boobs hurt. Dude, she's so likable in so many ways.
Renee is so funny. She's hilarious.
And she loves the business.
And yeah, but she's a great journalist too. So like that just puts her in a whole nother category in itself. But speaking else on AEW, you have Abandon.
Oh, Abaddon. You got my girl. Listen, when that music hit, at first I was like, I couldn't think of whose music it was. I was like, and then I saw it pop up on. I was like, Abaddon, and I'm a big Abaddon fan.
She's something else. She's
listen.
She's not your normal female wrestler.
No,
that you hear that she's talented, but she's not your female average looking wrestler that you go like, oh, I can get behind her. Because I could tell you honestly, when she first came on, I wasn't really that big of a fan of her. I was like, well, here's my thing: dark character girl. How long is it really gonna last? You know what I mean?
You search Abaddon. Abaddon is definitely unique.
Yes, she is. Abaddon.
You are completely right. But what Abaddon, if you search the demon Abaddon, she literally did her research about the demon and made her character
across that demon. Right. And I get that. And I love that about her. It's just something I'm really sketchy on dark female characters. You know, when you I am Nikki Cross.
She's sold everywhere though. She
is. I'm just really sketchy when it comes to female dark characters. That's all. And any promotion anywhere across the board, I'm just really sketchy on it. I have to be sold on it. Like I'm sold on Alexa Bliss's dark character.
You're not sold on Abaddon.
I am, but at the same time, I think I have to watch a little bit more of her. I've only seen a little bit of her in AEW. I haven't seen enough of it yet.
Go to YouTube
to get behind. You know what I mean? Like I know Alexa Bliss. Like I knew her prior and knew her at turning into it. So that was good for me. If I don't really know much about your dark character coming into the business, then I'm a little sketchy on it until I get to really watch. I have to, like I said, actually look up some of her older stuff.
What I'm saying is, what she did on Wednesday is actually a thing her demon does. Is so like everything she does, she truly is. She took the gimmick and she's making it actually come to life, which is what is needed, I believe. At sometimes you need to make your gimmick come to life. So she's making that gimmick come to life because, if I'm not mistaken, from the research I've done about the Demon Abaddon, she does mark you before she takes your soul type of thing. So she marked what she wanted and she's taking it, and it's phenomenal. And there's no other way to put it.
Right.
This is going to be a good match because Hikaru Shida is amazing.
Yes.
She's a great talent. Then you have Abaddon, which, like Sean said, she's not like others. She's not pretty.
No, I mean I'm not
with her makeup on. She's beautiful outside of the makeup. She really is. If you look up a picture,
with her makeup on,
scary as shit.
Scary as shit. She has that old Undertaker scaring the shit out of kids. That's what I do like that.
So Oh, exactly. I mean, could you see a kid coming out front row and
Oh
her
my,
like having
oh,
blood drip all out and like her like getting up in your face? Like a
oh
kid
my
would be like,
God. Yeah.
so it's perfect. But yeah, I think Abaddon going for the title is going to be a hell of a match. And if you make it, it could be a good
Do you put it on her now, though? Do you
yeah,
put it on her now?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you saw the reaction when she came out, you heard the people.
Yeah.
And the response online was unbelievable. If you don't put the title on her, you give it. That's how kids feel about meeting Sean. Hey, Core,
Hey,
damn,
damn. We
damn,
starting
bro,
already.
damn,
Jeez.
roasting them.
Shut them ugly.
But I mean, that you could do, but if you don't, you have to make it believable that she lost because
Yes.
she is a strong ass demon.
Yes. Yes. Moving on, man. This week I've been picking up on watching Talking Smack recently. And the only reason I picked up watching Talking Smack is because the last few weeks we've had Paul Heyman as a co-host. And not Sami Zayn. Don't get me wrong, I love Sami Zayn as a co-host. I think he's hilarious. I do like I do like their I don't even know what he's saying. They try to square up with
They try to square up with Luch for taking their swing. That wasn't a good one, brother.
No, that wasn't.
Nah. You reached a little.
Like I said, with don't get me wrong, I like Sami Zayn as a co-host. It's just better with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's a master genius on the mic, and as a co-host, he's amazing. But the biggest thing that I took away from Talking Smack this week is the fact that Paul Heyman gave his genuine validation to Bianca Belair.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna go somewhere. And also Triple H has given his validation to Bianca Belair, calling her the future of the business, of the women's division, which I truly believe, Luch, that Bianca Belair is the future of the women's division.
I mean, you can't. Really, honestly, she's very talented. She's very athletic.
Her athleticism, her talent,
multi-talented because she makes her in ring attire also.
Her ring attire. She makes her in ring attire.
And Street Profits ring attire.
Right. And she's her charisma is insane. Her charisma is something else.
I think
she is the ESP of SmackDown.
A little tweaking. I wouldn't say change. I wouldn't change the gimmick. I would tweak a few things. To me, the hair is going to become a danger in the ring.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
You might not know that someone's stepping on it if you're going for a certain move, and it could hurt. I just don't like that. And also, just some things. She's great on the mic.
Oh, absolutely.
She's great on the mic. Look who her husband is.
Right.
I mean, but what I want to see more than anything is her really, really show people what she's about.
Oh.
Like, tap into that because she's strong as a goddamn ox, people.
She is strong. She's strong as shit.
She's strong. I mean, she goes like, I've seen videos of her working out and she goes toe to toe with the men in the gym. And she challenges them like, hey, you think you could lift that?
Yeah. I think she did a Celtic Warrior workout with Sheamus too. It's on, if you check it out on YouTube.
I'm gonna have to try.
I think Sheamus is doing these Celtic Warrior workouts where he goes to the different superstars and works out with them. Like he did one with Kofi Kingston, Becky Lynch,
Jeff Hardy,
Elias, Seth Rollins, like all these different
bunch of people.
Yeah. So I think he has one with Bianca Belair. I'm not too sure yet.
Well, if he doesn't, he should.
He should.
But people, Belair, she's amazing. She's great. But she is no champion. She is no tribal chief. So we have some big things to talk about when it comes to Roman and the
Usos.
The Usos or the tribe, whatever you want to start calling them. We got some talking to do because it looks like Jay's kind of pushing the envelope with Roman. And I don't know how long it's going to last.
Well, here's the thing: is what I've been reading and what I've been researching a little bit is that Michael Cole hit on it a little bit on Friday Night SmackDown, calling him main event Uso. So they're pushing Jay, main event Jay. They're pushing Jay, like his brother, but not as much. Not like his cousin, but not as much. Like they're giving him a strong push, but not as much of a push as Roman. When Jimmy comes back, I believe that them as a tag team is going to get a huge push and probably get the titles and have that start. That Samoan dynasty will start. It will really start to form. I don't know when. Like,
what's the wait?
Who knows? I mean, maybe they're waiting for, the
Big Joe,
to see who's going to win next for the SmackDown Championship, SmackDown Tag Titles, and go from there. I know that Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler got Bobby Ziggler and
you just mad.
I know Bobby Ziggler and I know Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler both have got a win last night over the Street Profits in a non-title match. And Cesaro and Nakamura haven't been around, but that's the next tag team. And then of course you'll have the Usos, which I think maybe here soon enough we get to a match, we get to a pay-per-view where it's all around and for the titles, and the Usos pick up the win that way.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe they're waiting for, once Cesaro and Nakamura come back of whatever they're doing, and getting that big tag team title thing going, big tag team going, and then
the problem.
I think it's going to be to the point where, also I could see it to where the point like Jay keeps losing, and Roman's going to be like, listen, when you go down there, Jimmy, go down with him. Go. Make sure he gets the respect for the family. And Jimmy's the one that pushes Jay to get more, you know what I mean? Jimmy starts getting involved more.
Yeah. But I just want to see what's the next pay-per-view? TLC. Will Roman defend? I don't know.
Probably Kevin Owens. Looks like Kevin Owens is going to be the next in line for the Universal title.
To be honest, they shouldn't. They should have Roman be like, no one's worthy enough to go up against the head of the table. And I'm not coming, and I'm not going to show up. And if you want a match, that's why Jay's here. You take him. Do something like that.
Yeah.
But depends on what you're going to have, how you're going to do it. Because, like, look at him. He got mad because he interfered, right?
Yeah.
He said,
I told you to go home. I told you to go home.
You didn't listen. He said, I could have beat him. So I think no matter what, it's going to be like a Roman's not happy type of deal.
Right.
And there's going to be no table. It's only going to be him eating at one time. Or he's going to kick Jay for Jimmy. Because Jimmy's going to understand and know what to do and know how to do it.
Right.
When I give you rules,
but the plan is for them to have a super stable and to have this big tag team run.
So you make Jimmy beat the shit out of Jay and be like, listen, you're going to learn. And you're going to learn the easy way or the hard way. You're either just going to suck it up or I'm going to just keep whooping your ass.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest. Is Jay really good? Yes. Great talent.
It's great talent.
Better than Jimmy? Not by
a long shot, no.
I'm sorry. Jimmy has better in-ring charisma. Jimmy has better technical work in the ring, in my opinion. And he knows how to get the crowd going more than Jay does.
And I feel Jimmy's a little bit better on the mic.
Yeah, Jay's bored. Did you see that promo was trash?
It was trash.
I mean, it was good if he could have delivered it correctly.
Right.
He needs to work with Paul on how to deliver a promo like a heel. Yeah. He's still delivering promos like he's a baby face.
And I think that's the problem is he's been a baby face for so long. When you're a baby face for so long, it's hard for you to get that
exactly
that inner heel in you out. So I mean, just like if you're a heel for so long and they go, oh, you're going to turn babyface. Like they're trying to make Kevin Owens a babyface. It's like Kevin Owens is not a babyface,
but he could play it.
Kevin Owens
could do it though.
But the best part is on Talking Smack when he was talking to Paul Heyman, right at the end of his little promo stint, he was like, Paul, he's like, I'm not a good guy and I'm not a bad guy. He goes, but I am the guy to beat Roman Reigns. And left it at that.
But he's definitely not.
He's definitely not.
Not even by a long shot.
But I think, Kevin, here's the thing, is when you put these two together, Kevin Owens is really kind of handcuffed in what he does in the ring work. Okay? Right. But let's go back to the ROH days. Go back to his independent days when he was
that about everybody.
When he was
say that about so many people.
You can't say that about everybody. But go back to those days where he was violent and radical. He seemed radical and violent. He has that in him to make that match very, very brutal. He's a very brutal person to have a match like that with Roman Reigns to make it believable that he could win the title, but he won't.
With Roman, yes, because of that. But let's be honest.
They're not going to put the title on
independent wrestling.
Right.
What you're talking about is that anger and that mean streak that Kevin had. You can't do that in the big leagues.
No, you can't.
That's indies. That's smaller shows like ROH that don't care about, hey, if you get hurt and taking a few months off, it's whatever. With other corporations, big corporations.
If you go back and watch it, Paul mentions his mean streak coming up into the business and that he was always a fan of him even before WWE. So, I mean, even if you brought the Kevin Owens back, the NXT Kevin Owens against Roman. Huh?
He was still aggressive.
Still aggressive.
Still very, very
violent.
I mean, look what he did to Sami Zayn when he injured him for how long?
Yeah.
So, could KO be the person to put up a good fight against Roman? Yes, because KO has been through wars.
Look what he did to Shane McMahon when he powerbombed him on that ladder.
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
Remember? I mean, he powerbombed John Cena.
Yeah.
He literally. You bring that Kevin Owens back against a Roman Reigns.
I could see it.
Fans can get behind that. I would. You take my money. I don't care if he loses, but take my money because now Roman Reigns has a guy that fights him.
Yeah. So. NXT. Next Sunday. War Games. Listen, people, if you don't know what War Games is, please. YouTube.
You research it, YouTube it. War Games is 2 rings, one
cage.
Oh my God.
2 rings, 1 cage, 2 teams. And it is hell. And it is going to be phenomenal. The Undisputed Era versus, I don't know what they're calling themselves, but
they're calling themselves, I think it's something with the brand, something
brand. Okay.
Something brand.
Well, something brand is going to go up against Undisputed Era. And for once in my adult life, I have rooted for a babyface to win. And I so bad wanted who was in the match with Pete Dunne? The Undisputed Era guy that was in the match with Pete Dunne. Totally forget his name. Drawing a blank. But I wanted him to get it so bad. But Pat McAfee had to come in and put his nose where it doesn't belong. And now whatever team or whatever is going to have an advantage in War Games. All that means is you start out with 2 people in the ring instead of just 1. And yeah.
Tell me this. Tell me you're not impressed with Pat McAfee.
I didn't say that.
I'm just saying. Tell me.
I didn't say I'm not.
Yeah. I mean, tell me how impressed you are. Like, tell me how impressed you are. I mean, I'm actually a little impressed with. I'm a little impressed with him.
Athlete to come to wrestling like he has, I do give it respect because he did put in the training and he did learn mic skills and he did learn this and he did learn that.
See, that's a one thing.
He needed mic skills because
he always had mic skills. He was a shit talker in the NFL, so that mic skill is
promo. He learned how to piece it together properly, how to make it sound good.
Right.
And he trained in the ring. When people do that, I give them respect because you're not just saying, hey, this is a paycheck and I'm just going to make easy money. You're saying, hey, these people go through hell day in and day out. I'm not just going to go in there and take their money away from them. I'm going to go give them the best that I can give them. So in that way, I respect them. And I think that match was not his first match was not bad at all.
No.
A little tweaks here and there, but I mean, besides that, not bad.
He was
impressive.
His jumping ability, like his vertical is, I'm like, damn.
Was a football player. Let's not forget this.
But he was a punter.
But still, legs, buddy. Legs.
Yeah, I get it, legs, but damn, I mean.
He got legs. But, I mean, yeah, like I said, I was very impressed with him also. So, do I want to see them win is the question.
Undisputed Era needs to win that War Games.
No, they won every single one they've been in.
That shows the dominance. That shows them like, hey, you might be good now, but we are the team.
Okay. I think that they should lose to prove that, hey, someone else is coming in and you guys are going to get left out because listen, Adam needs to go
to the main roster.
I'm sorry. Yeah. He has the charisma and the talent and the fan base to do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But is there something for him right now there?
You have the US title and you have the IC title. You have the IC better than US because Lashley versus him might not be terrible, but it's not what I want to see. Sami Zayn versus Adam Cole could be good if you let Adam Cole come out on top, in my opinion.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
You have to let Adam Cole win.
And I would love to see an Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan. So,
oh my God, War Games, females, okay? Because there's a female War Games too.
Female War Games too.
Right now, it looks like it's only.
You know this a little bit more than I do. I didn't get to see the female.
What is her name?
Shotzi.
Well, Shotzi is not in it yet.
Okay.
Not in it yet.
Yeah, she will be.
No, Shotzi has a team, but it's not even put together. She has no clue. Gonzalez, Tori Storm, or Tori, is it Storm?
Storm, I think so.
Storm, turned heel. She's on.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Gargano's team. So it's Gargano, the female Gargano, Storm. What's her? I just said it. Gonzalez, and the other like really like bigger female, like taller female, and her versus Rhea, and probably Io's going to be in the team actually. From what it's looking, how they're setting it up,
Right.
It's looking like this is going to be Rhea Ripley's final match in NXT. Probably it's going to be her, Io. Which, hey, you give me Ripley and Shotzi on a team, like you got me sold. I'm sorry, and probably Shotzi, Ripley, and Io. So far from what I know, I have no clue who that fourth one and possible fifth will be. So I have no clue. But yeah, it's or no, there's four. Sorry. So I have no clue who the other team, like I said, is. Forget her name. Gonzalez, Storm, and Candice LeRae, which is Gargano's wife. So yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Yeah. But let's get into the debate part of the show, Sean. This is what I've been waiting for all damn week. Let me get my chair adjusted. Let me get some water, and let's start it.
All right, man. So the first topic we're going to bring up is the best male and female WWE superstars in the current roster today. So hard. Here's the thing: it's so hard for me in the female division. Okay,
it's not hard in the male division.
Yeah, it's hard in the male division too. It's hard for me in the female. I think it's a little harder for me in the female division than the males. In the female division, okay, with
current, they have to be wrestling right now. I know who you want to say, and it's not going to count right now. She's not wrestling.
She's not wrestling. That's why I said you want to name her, but she's not wrestling.
Flair is obviously is going to end up being the GOAT of professional wrestling.
Yes, hands down. I want to say Bayley right now, currently, is the best, but I'm having a little bit of trouble between three, and that's Bayley, Sasha, and trying to think of a third one I could bring in there. Between Bayley, Sasha, and maybe Natty, because where Natty is right now in her career.
Where Nat
in performing wise, where she's at right now with her current storyline status.
Okay, but we're talking best, so you have to narrow that down.
Best, okay, so I have a tie between Natty, Bayley, and Sasha.
Okay, could we make that two?
Between Sasha and Bayley.
Okay, now let's make it one.
Storyline wise, I'm gonna get hung, Sasha.
He said I'm gonna get hung, Sasha. That's funny. I'm
gonna get hung in the wrestling world. I know that.
Sasha. Okay, well, I'm going complete sideways. I'm going Rhea Ripley.
Ooh.
If you ask me who the future is, Bianca Belair is definitely one of them, but Rhea Ripley is up there. Crazy talented, crazy athletic, strong, good on the mic. Decent on the mic. Decent on the mic. Could, get some tweaking. In ring work, though, I mean, she's toe to toe with Flair. I mean, let's be honest. Who did Flair pick to go up against?
Right.
That was Flair's choice. Literally. I read online that Vince said you can have who you want. Who do you want? And she said Ripley. She wanted Ripley. That wasn't something Triple H said, "Hey, since you started here, why don't you give Ripley a shot at the, at WrestleMania?" She said, "I want to go home, and I want the challenge for the NXT title." And to me, that is phenomenal. So, I would have to say Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
Male,
Yeah.
I might get hung because of current roster, but I'm gonna go with Ford. I'm not looking at their story at the moment. I'm looking at them as a package, as a wrestler. As a package wrestler, he is what you want. Charismatic. He has that flair about him. He got that, like, the juice. He got it. And he knows how to talk. I mean, let's be honest. He does a damn frog splash from heaven.
Yeah.
I mean, the frog splash, his athleticism, his all around mic skills, which he writes his own shit, is amazing. Is there other people out there that are very talented also? Yeah, I'm not going to act like they're not. But
I'm gonna.
I gotta go.
Okay. Male. You know what?
I already know where he's going.
No, you don't know where I'm going with it.
I know.
No, I'm not. You don't. Man, I'm going down the current roster. And you would think I'm going to say Randy Orton. I know that's what you're thinking. And I'm not. I'm actually not going to say Randy Orton. Don't get me wrong. The man's talented, and the man is.
Wow.
Yeah, the man is at the best of his game right now. Don't get me wrong. He is at the best. He's at the top of his game right now. And putting talent over. He's at the top of his game. But I would have to go with. I might get laughed at a little bit. And you might think I'm a little bit off. I'm going a little sideways. Riddle.
Nah, he's talented. He's good in my book.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Riddle, a current product today. I'd have to go with Riddle. He can move. Still, I can't stand that he wrestles barefoot, but whatever. But talented in the ring. Very funny on the microphone. Very funny on the mic. Will make you laugh on the mic.
Definitely.
Will make you laugh on the mic. And all around charisma is really great. Like, knows how to play to the crowd, knows, his in-ring awareness ability is there. So, yeah, I'd have to go with Riddle.
Riddle is definitely a really good pick. I mean, do I think they could do more with him? Yes, they really limit his gimmick.
I mean, I'm looking at like how you looked at the future with the women.
Yeah.
And you said Rhea. I'm looking at the future with the men. I have to go with Riddle because, I mean, we can all say AJ Styles. We can all say Braun Strowman. We can all say Randy Orton. We can go on and on, like Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley. I can name those guys, but like I can even say Drew McIntyre. But
where do you think AJ is going to retire?
When do I think he's going to retire? Where?
Because to me, honestly,
I think it has to be New Japan.
I'm saying Impact.
No.
He carried Impact.
I know he carried Impact, but
so why not?
No.
That was where he got started.
No, because Impact's just been I'm not impressed with
What
Impact.
do you mean? You didn't like little AJ Styles?
That was-
thought it fucking hilarious.
That was funny, but it was
That was
stupid.
perfect. It was perfect. So why not? He should. I'm sorry. He should retire in Impact because that was where. I'm sorry. Yes, he was phenomenal in New Japan, and he did New Japan before he did Impact. Also,
Exactly.
but
Go back to
but-
New Japan. I'm telling you.
But after he did TNA and he went back, he was more of a success after he went back. He was good, but he really established himself in TNA, which made him really good for when he made his New Japan run again. Which is why I'm saying Impact, because he carried him, Jeff, and Kurt carried that brand for years.
Hey, Samoa Joe. Can't leave him out.
Okay, it's Samoa Joe. But if you honestly think about it, right? Jeff was out for a good amount of time from here and there.
Yeah.
Kurt, same thing. And then he left fully.
Yeah.
That leaves Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, who carried it on their
that.
back.
They did carry the
So-
brand on their back.
For me, if I'm looking at it from a wrestling aspect, I want him to retire in Impact because of what he did there. And that's
I mean, honestly, I think he's going to end up retiring. I think he's going to end up retiring in WWE.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, fuck no, he's not. God damn it. I was gonna say he was gonna be the first one in 2 Hall of Fames, but Sting is fuck. Kurt. No, was Kurt first?
what?
Isn't Kurt Angle in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Yes.
He's also in TNA Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So I think he was the first before Sting, actually.
Yeah. Kurt
So-
Angle was the first recipient of the Hall of Fame award
Yeah.
for TNA.
So, yeah, that was big. So, I mean, I can see him doing WWE first and then getting inducted into Impact or TNA, whatever,
Right.
Hall of Fame. And then, to be honest, he's probably going to be inducted to the pro wrestling. Like,
Yeah,
altogether.
absolutely.
Um, You know, because, I mean, it's AJ Styles.
But like I said, like I was saying earlier, like we can mention guys.
We can go on for days.
I could go on for days of who's good on the current product, but if you're looking at the future, Matt Riddle,
And Ford. That's exactly what I did. I didn't look at because I can name Randy Orton and AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy's and all the people that people know. You know, Ford is known, but he's also just started.
right?
He's just starting his career. He didn't just start, but he's just starting it. And he is the future of tag team and maybe a singles run in the future. But to me, he will always probably be a tag team.
Yeah.
And he's the future of the tag team division.
Here's my one question though, before we go into our final subject. My one big question I've always wanted to ask you, and I want to ask this. I'm asking this now, so I want you guys, if you are watching, please let me know in your comments. But also, you can, if you watch back on it, please let me know in, on our comment. Is Dolph Ziggler Hall of Fame material?
Why wouldn't he be?
I mean, there's speculation that he's not.
Why?
I mean,
what makes Dolph not Hall of Fame material? He had WWE runs, multiple WWE championship runs. Also, he's held multiple mid-card titles. Believe he's held tag team. Also, great on the microphone, knows how to sell, could wrestle. Why? Yeah. No,
I mean, there's people there is speculation that Dolph is just your average, now good jobber wrestler that's like killing his legacy right now. I don't think so.
Why?
I
Because he's
think
staying past his time. You want me to name people who stayed past their time?
that's why he's stayed past this time. Therefore, he's not a Hall of Famer.
You want me to name people who stay past their time? I'm wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm wearing a shirt. HBK damn near did it. Ric Flair did it. I can keep going. So, people stay past their prime. Yes, but you got to understand, he's not 50. He's not 60 years old.
He's only like 40.
He started
44.
in in the WWE development. So that's why he was so young.
Yeah.
So like, he was only 20-something, 21, 22 in Spirit Squad. And
Yeah.
he's been a member of the roster ever since. So if you don't think that's enough to get you in the Hall of Fame, I don't know what the fuck is.
Yeah.
He has gave Vince his all for years. And I'm pretty sure his body hurts. Because Vince puts him in matches and goes, sell. Sell.
Sell.
That's it. Dolph is there to make you look good. Dolph is not there to make himself look good.
Right.
So
do you put the tag titles on Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler?
Fuck no. I'm sorry. I cannot get behind Roode and Ziggler together.
I think they're a great tag team together.
Why? I'm sorry. You ruined Bobby Roode. I'm sorry. That whole Glorious, that was so good, and you fucked it up. He could have had a great singles run as glorious, as glorious Bobby Roode.
Could he had a good singles run with a heavyweight title as Glorious?
No. Who?
Bobby Roode. Could he have a world title with his Glorious gimmick?
If they would have the big gold title, I believe they would do it because it would fit the persona and the image. With this one, I do not believe. Okay. But if Big Gold was around, 100%, because it would fit the image. It's like Rick, so it fits. But before the next topic we're getting into, I gotta ask one more question.
Sure.
Have you seen the pictures going all over Facebook of the Raw brand and the SmackDown brand with the old school titles? I believe I shared it once or twice.
Yeah, I think I've seen it, yeah.
What do you think about that? Would you like to see maybe a return of some old titles and maybe put some of these new ones to rest? Because I'm not going to lie, some of these new titles are ugly as shit.
So what do you mean? Which old title? Like which old title? You talking Intercontinental? I would love to see the old Intercontinental title to come back.
I'm talking IC, US, Big Gold, the old WWE title, and the old Raw SmackDown Tag Team Championships. That's
okay. So, in my opinion, I would love to see the old Big Gold come back to
favorite
to take over the Universal. I think the Universal Championship is so stupid. I would love to see the old WWF title in Raw.
WWF is now are we going Win the Eagle?
The Eagle.
The Eagle.
The Eagle.
Beautiful.
Love to see the beautiful Eagle title. I would then love to see the old IC white title belt back.
Oh, I loved it.
I would love to see the old US title, but the old US that was in WCW title. With the tag team, one tag team champion, and they go all around, all across the brands.
One tag team
title.
Not gonna lie, I would go with the old school Raw tag team.
The old school Raw, not the old school Raw where they were like the Big Gold and that Daniel Bryan and
no, I'm talking like rated RKO. Like the Raw, that Raw and SmackDown title.
I'd like to see when they were WWF title of the tag team.
Like Legion old?
No, I would say like Christian Edge old.
Okay. Oh yeah, that WCW US is pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I forgot what it looked like.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty beautiful.
It's a pretty title.
But
you have to take it off Bobby.
Why?
I would want to take it off Bobby. I'd put it on someone else.
All right.
Riddle. Put on Riddle. I'd like to see Riddle with the US title.
Won't be bad. All right. Main event time, people. So for the main event of tonight is actually we're going to be discussing main
Got
events.
my water ready.
So we're discussing main events. So for everybody that's watching, please comment what you believe. Who wants to start this? That's the real question.
You could start it, Luke.
Okay,
Since you proclaim to be the champ.
Listen, the champ. Listen, a main event is the last match on the card. When you go there, they say, okay, well, this is the card, and here's the main event. The main event is Daniel Bryan versus Triple H for the WWE Championship. That's
that one.
That's the main event. So there is no such thing also, in my opinion, on multiple main events. There's no such thing. Vince McMahon has sold this to not only the fucking talent backstage, but to the fucking fans so much that people actually believe 3 or 4 matches of the night are the main events, which that's not the case. The main event is the go home match, which is the last match before the lights go out. And that's how it is. There is no multiple main events. The main event is in no way, shape, or form the best match of the night. The best match of the night is the best match of the night. And the main event is the main event. Sean?
Are you done? Are you done?
For now. For now, I am.
The main event
Oh, my God.
is the match that when you go home, you go, that's why I came to see this match. That's why I came.
No.
Yes.
No.
That's why. Listen, you're not going to show up to WrestleMania because if Undertaker's on the card and facing somebody, you're showing up because Undertaker's on the card.
No, I'm showing up. Listen.
If I'm watching, okay, TLC, right? TLC, let's make a prime example. TLC, right? We have a TLC match. We have a great heavyweight title match, but we have the final match is going to be Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, right? That's the final match of the night, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's the final match. That's your main event. You call it your main event, right?
Yes.
But on the card, I really don't want to see. I'm like, maybe I don't want to watch Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan. Kevin Owens and
right.
Roman. Oh my God. How many times have we seen the main event like Roman Reigns going like, oh my God, Roman Reigns is closing out the show. Like when he was, with all those WrestleManias, right? We hated that, right? We hated him closing out the show, right? But we watched it because of certain match that we wanted to see. So say it's DB and who was I saying? I don't know. DB and AJ Styles going at it, right? Or DB and somebody. Yeah. And you see, that's the main of it's the main event is the reason
the match
you came to see the match.
That's the match you want to see, Sean. That's not the main event. The main event is the main event, which is
the main event to me. Listen, the main event to me is when I'm leaving. I go, damn, that's the only match I'm talking about when I'm walking out.
That's the match that made that it was the best match of the night. Listen, here's the pay-per-view. Okay, here's the pay-per-view. Okay, there's nothing written down right here. Here's the pay-per-view. Okay, let's say each of these blocks, okay, are matches. Okay, This is the main event. The last one is the main event. Okay, this one might have been the best match of the night, right? This is still
Is that the reason?
Still the main event, though.
If that's the reason I came,
still the main event. This is just the best match of the night. This is the main event.
The reason I came to see the match, the reason I'm watching is because that's the match that I want to see. That's the main event.
Listen. Yes, and I've bought tickets for that same exact reason, Sean.
That's your main event.
No, but listen, shut up. Listen, we aren't reasons. I've bought tickets for this reason. Okay, I really want to see this match. Yeah, whatever. The main event match is like whatever. Obviously, I'm going to stay and watch it. But I still understand, like, this is the match I'm going to go see.
And which match are you talking about? And which match would you be talking about when you're going home at night?
The match I liked. not the main
That's
event.
the main event. If the fans, the majority of the fans are going, this is the reason I came to see this match.
That's yeah.
That's the main event.
Somebody that doesn't mean that that's the main event. That doesn't mean it.
I swear. I wish I could bring Matt Light on to school you on how shows are booked.
Listen. It is nothing like it. It's easy. There is a match card, 6-7 matches. The middle match was the best. That was the best match of the night. So, like, what have they said? How many times have you watched a WWE Network thing and they go, holy shit, when Taker and what do you call it went out, they stole the show. When Taker and Triple H went out, they stole the show. And then who had to follow up? They said we were so scared of being the main event that we had to follow that up. They said it on the network. We were so scared of being the main event because we had to follow that match. So that match was the greatest match of that night in some people's opinion. And so, but they were still a main event because you go back and watch the network, the people say like, yo, we were so nervous about going out after them. Even though we're the main event, they put on such a spectacular show. How can we top that? But Vince,
we will
sold you guys on so much. There's so many main events. There's multiple main events. There's multiple main events. There's not multiple main events. There's one main event, and it's the closing of the match.
It looks like right now that we are going to have to agree to disagree on that topic, because you're not going to sell me that the last match is a main event.
I do not understand
how to close out of the show. It's not always the main event. Mean? That closes out the show. It's not always the main event.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't always. To me, shut up. To me, and some fans out and other fans out there, that's just closes out the show. It's not always the main event.
The main event closes the show.
Whatever.
So, what do they call the show before any pay-per-view?
Of course, that's like standard. They say it's the main event.
No. So, listen, they say there's a main event, right? The main event for Raw is going to be, and what is that? When they say the main event's going to be for Raw, what happens? When does that match happen, Sean?
That usually I get.
When does the match happen, Sean?
It's tradition to call the last match the main event.
So,
but to fans,
the last match.
But to fans, that's not always the main
everybody
event.
Watching, please. What is the main event? Is the main event the best? Or is the main event the last match of the night?
You're going based off the last match and going off traditional that the main event is the last match of the night, hands down.
Okay. Wait. Because it's right. Any SmackDown, Raw, AEW, ROH, IWC, and PWX. It doesn't matter.
Lisa. Of course, agree with your husband. That's so biased. God damn, I feel like Trump in this shit. Such bias and fraudulent.
All it is the main event is the last match of the night. It's the main event. Because if you look up pro wrestling, they go by boxing standards. Boxing standards say the main event is the last match of the night to go home to the show. So like I say, this is my opinion. Obviously, Sean has a very strong opinion that he thinks that the best match of the night is the main event. Now, do I understand where you're coming from? Yeah, because you might go home and be like, oh my God, Daniel Bryan versus AJ was spectacular. And Batista versus Triple H was such a shit show that whatever. Like, I get that. But guess what? The main event still was Batista versus Triple H having a shit show. And that's just how it's been. But I do give it to you. That is a traditional wrestling thing. And I am very new school about some things, but very old school about some. And that, I guess, is one thing that I'm old
You're
school about.
just old school about it.
And so, like, yeah, like I'm pretty sure a lot of wrestlers today would say, like, no, that's not the case. My match was the main event because it was the best match of the night. And hey, you're supposed to think that way if you're a wrestler. You're supposed to think you had the best match of the night. But in reality, the last match is the main event. On any wrestling show you go to, they go, here's the match card and here's the main event. And the main event makes you go crazy.
It's supposed to.
Well, yeah, it doesn't always, but most of the time it does. So for anybody watching, what is the main event? What do you, when you hear main event, what do you think? Because I'm pretty sure people are going to say last match.
And folks, with that was our debate show, folks. It got a little.
He's running. He can't debate no more.
Can't debate no more. Whatever.
He got nothing.
Whatever. But folks, please make sure to go to bombshellbowling.com/loudmouth sports talk. Get your loudmouth apparel today. We do have a Black Friday sale going on. It's 60% off or $60 and get, what is it off?
If I believe it's like 10 to 15% off if you spend 60 or more.
And it's running from November. It started November 16th and it's running all the way to December 2nd.
Yeah, so make sure you take advantage of that deal because once it's gone,
it's gone.
So take advantage of it.
Yes, but Miss Michelle, she does a wonderful job for us with the merchandise that we have. Also, folks, make sure you tune in. We have football, our into the trenches with George and Frisch. We have off the bounce with Dame and Isaiah, ahead of the curve with Robbie, and mucking and grinding with Robbie, with our other Rob of the group. So
Robbie and Rob.
Robbie's does our head of the curve, which is baseball. Rob is our hockey with mucking and grinding. So make sure you guys tune in throughout the week as they will also have shows on here. But Luch, man, are you excited for next weekend for War Games?
Oh my god!
And then TLC is, I think, right after that.
We're gonna have 2 weeks of prediction shows. So
yeah,
at least end it with the prediction.
End it with the prediction show. But also, folks, we are in the works right now. We are working. We're trying to get in touch with a few people, but we will be hopefully at the next live taping of the PWX show, doing ringside and backstage interviews for the wrestlers there.
We will be live.
We will be live.
It will not be like a original show. We will be live. There will be some recorded interviews and that we will post throughout the week and weeks to come. So always be on the lookout for anything wrestling on Loudmouth Sports Talk and Sports Group.
And make sure, folks, if there's something that you guys want us to talk about, if you want to come on the show and debate one of us, feel free to hit us up.
If you want to tell Sean what a real main event is, come on the show.
Shut up, Elisa.
Come on the show.
I can hear you in the background. Shut up.
So, yeah.
But if you want to come on the show and tell Luch how he's not a true champ and that I'm the true champ and that the only reason and that he has to sit on phone books and he has to actually sit on phone books to be seen on the camera because he's
chair. I sit on a WrestleMania chair. I sit on a WrestleMania chair.
It has a little padding so that we can actually see his face on the camera because of how short he is. Feel free to hit us up.
Oh, get something original, Sean. Damn. Phone books? Shit. My boys used to pick me up with phone books on this seat. Get something original.
But folks, that is our show for this week. Make sure you tune in next week, 4 p.m. for another edition of Loudmouth Off the Top Rope with your true champ and my little sidekick.
You see it.
Loudmouth Luch. The only reason he's loud is because he's how short he is. So make sure you tune in next week, folks, 4 p.m. for another edition of Loudmouth Off the Top Rope.